Greetings, Commanders! Welcome to Kerrash Landing, the Elite Dangerous Community Show. Commander Kerrash here. Yes, it's good to be back. My voice is getting there. And to help me out tonight, help me along the way, it's my friend, fellow streamer, and moderator, and all-round great guy. It's Ian. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, yeah, Kerrash. I'm doing well, sir. How are you, sir?
Yeah, getting there. Yeah,
no more chest infection.
No more lurgies now.
No, it was pretty bad last week. I really wanted to carry on and do it, but it was kind of
It was like that. I was like this.
and it just wasn't going to work. It was really bad.
Okay, do me a favor, Crash. Do not shave that beard.
I'm going for it. I mean, as usual, I've gone out exploring, as you can see, and just like I did last time I went exploring, forgot to pack razors. So yeah, this is how it is. Sorry, folks. But yeah, I mean,
Hopefully the wife don't mind.
well, I'm not keen. So greetings to all of you in the chat. Lovely to see you again. Apologies for last week. Yes, chest infection. Nasty stuff. Yes, Stephen. Yes, I hope you do feel better soon, buddy. I did see that you were terrible headaches on there, so hopefully that's subduing. Was starting to get a little easier. Mr. Jenks, yeah, right. Yeah, she's not keen. She's not keen on this. Never mind. But anyway, it's been a crazy couple of weeks, hasn't it? There's been so many cool things announced. I mean, of course, the beta 2.203 has now dropped, which is fantastic to see. These kind of like progressive incremental betas being one of the things that the guys have wanted to do for a long time. And did you catch?
I think it's epic. I mean, sorry, it's like the. With the major updates, I can understand that, but like, why not get input? For every release?
Absolutely,
epic.
And it's something the team have really wanted to do, for a long time. So it's great they finally had the opportunity to kind of work out all the kinks in doing that is a process thing, because it is a big complicated thing to get it up and operational.
Yes, indeed.
Lovely. So let's have a little scooch around my ship. I have got the matching paint job to go with my asp as well.
Oh, do you know, I bought some paint jobs for my SRV thanks to some donations from my lovely viewer type people. I haven't even looked at them yet. I haven't had that much time to get in game these last few weeks, so I might try to do that tonight.
I've been so busy myself as well. Like I said, with all of the things which are going on at the moment, as Stephen Usher just said as well. Yeah, the massive news, the elephant in the room, of course, PS4 support has been confirmed. I can finally say it. It's like I was absolutely positive it was going to come at some point, but obviously there was a lot of technical challenges the guys needed to work out before it was going to become a thing. I mean, with the Xbox One, of course. They already had the pipeline in there. They had a render path for Xbox One. They built Zoo Tycoon and Disneyland Adventures, things like that. So the guys were quite familiar with the Xbox One platform and building for it. But with the PS4, of course, they had to basically start from scratch, and you completely rework everything you see in the game so that it runs on that hardware. Very similar to the Xbox One, but of course there are just subtle differences between these things on there. I see Saturn and says, never. I've tried to learn sign language. I would like to do more of it, but I am terrible at doing things like that. I've learned 11 languages this week. Okay, I've become more proficient in 11 languages. No, I was doing this silly kind of like online training thing for various programming languages, and those go in. Syntax for programming languages, they go in, they stay. I'm fine with those. Ruby, Swift, you name it, you throw it at me, and it's like, yeah, I can read it. Written languages and spoken languages, things like that, absolutely terrible. It's just a different area of the brain, perhaps. I don't know. Yes, you like the fluff to your toe. There you go. Dark and Dragon, how did I enjoy Fantastic? It was fantastic, to coin a phrase. Yeah, it was
surprising.
Great. Yeah, it's always lovely to meet up with everyone in the community. I think that's the thing that I enjoy most about the meetups. It's great that there's fun things to do at the event as well. I don't know if anyone saw any of the tweets and the pictures going out, but I did kind of tend to gravitate towards the PC running Frontier Elite on it, which was of all the things I could do.
That one. Yep.
Where did
also
Crash
stuff there?
Yeah, it's pretty much a guarantee I'll be there.
You're just the definition of hardcore gamer. Like Crash. That's all it is.
absolute total fanboy. Santa's little SRV. You like that, do you, Stephen? It's. I thought I get the nice little red. I'm head on my way. I've got the festive paint pack for the Asp. I've got the Christmas tree is out on the dashboard. So I thought I'm going to have the red SRV before I head out. Don't know whether I'm going to get to my destination in time for Christmas. I think I will. I've got a couple of weeks to get there. I think you could probably guess where I'm going. I'm heading out to see the last known survivor of the Hell's Gate incident. I don't know if you know your lore that well, Ian.
I'm afraid I don't, Crash.
I think
I'm a bit ashamed of it, to be honest. But
no, it's. I must admit, I couldn't remember this, but I got reading this afternoon because I was waiting for a conference call to end, and it's. Let's see if I can get the camera to focus on that. We've got this guy. Everyone knows this guy. I'm heading out to see him right now. I'm gonna leave it on the screen a little bit. I'm trying to get the light off the camera there. Everyone knows this guy. Don't know if you can see it. Have you got the stream going here?
Yeah, I'm looking. No, I don't know.
that is, of course, Jacques. Yes.
Oh, that guy!
Yeah,
oh,
I got
that guy.
Speaking of being a total Nutter fanboy, I got the books out earlier on today, and I was just sat, going through it, and I was like, yeah. He was a survivor of the Hell's Gate incident, and yeah. Oh yes, and they made him a cyborg when that happened, and I love going back through things like that. It's brilliant. But it's some lovely little references and everything, like the Guttameyer shipyards and things like that, and how they took Twithy saying, "Is that Crichton? Maybe it's an earlier model."
Indeed.
Of course it is. Stephen Usser hit the nail on the head. Yes, exactly.
Yes.
It is. Laverick, greetings.
Yeah, Laverick.
So it's been a crazy busy week. I think I've got about 10 minutes total in the beta myself so far. But there's some interesting things. I mean, you've cleared your save and had a quick play around already, haven't you?
Well, I think it's another tribute to the community. I cleared my save, respawned at Gwent, and I thought to myself, I've had this idea in my head to build a vulture and engineer it in a specific way, which I did. Took it out for a fly, and I hadn't gone, more than a light second, and some guy in a Corvette goes, "Hey, you want to test some stuff?" I'm like, "Okay." It's awesome. Beta, right? So yeah, we had a good bit of PvP there, and I actually did quite well. I was surprised I survived that long, but.
Excellent.
But he was a good sport, That's what I mean.
Cool. Yeah, I mean that's the lovely thing about it, isn't it? It's just like kind of coincidental testing and stuff like that. I really need to get a bit more coordinated and try a few more of the things out. But it sounds like the balance pass for the combat and things like that is doing its job. I think the main goal is to ensure that combat is more kind of balanced and let's say drawn out, but lasts longer in those situations if you're more evenly balanced ships, that you kind of have that more of a of a fair fight going on there. So always,
I've already heard people complaining about the whole reboot equals 50% shields back thing.
Yes, that's a cool feature. I like the idea of that. And I'm sure everyone kind of must have caught the live stream of the week, but if you didn't catch the live stream of the week, so the idea is if you keep your thrusters down below, I think it's 15 meters per second,
yes.
and your shields have completely collapsed, you can go into the old reboot repair menu, which you can't do in Super Cruise, so I can't show you. It is in that menu, trust me. And then hopefully, if it cycles up and you manage to survive the onslaught for a period of a few seconds, then your shields will come back up to 50%. Will give you a bit more of a fighting chance. And I like the idea of that. It's another strategic option, and I just like the idea. You can imagine frantically trying to bashing the panel. Come on, get the shields back and go, sort of thing. And I think it kind of leads into that kind of like multi-crew and the cool things that can happen coming down on there.
Oh yeah, definitely. The problem with me is though, if I'm in PvP, which doesn't happen that often, thankfully, but when I am, I just get completely confused and start clicking the wrong buttons.
I think I probably would do as well. Yeah, I mean it's just it's just such a panic sometimes, isn't it? I mean, particularly with like the heavily engineered ships as well against weaker ships, it's absolutely impossible. I mean, I've been in some situations where it's like you don't stand a chance, and I don't think there's anything that the guys can ever do to fix that. There's no way of balancing
No,
out
no.
a one-sided battle. For
But that's when you have to know when to run. It's like
exactly. And
that's also a tactic.
one of the. I mean, that is probably the first thing I learnt with this here, with this floppy disk. Yes, Frontier Elite 2 on the Amiga. I must admit, playing that, I barely got involved in any combat. I would flee like 90% of the time. And because I just could not get my head around the idea of like the Newtonian combat in how to do it when I was younger. I really just couldn't do it. If I got the pirate warning that, so I would be instantly targeting another system and jumping the heck out of there, and going somewhere else. And so that was the first thing I learned back then. And I think it's just. Games have got a lot easier over the years, so I think a lot of people think that they can stand and fight and they can reload their save game and just carry on without any consequences. I think people have kind of got used to that sort of behaviour, so having this thing where you're like, you are punished heavily if you don't know when to get the heck out of Dodge.
Oh, no, I certainly agree with you there, Kerrash. I mean, Frontier do things a lot differently in that respect with Elite. It's in its own class, I would say, almost.
Yeah. I mean, it's a completely different style of game. It's very unique in that respect. I mean, people try to box it into that idea of an MMO, but it's not really strictly like an MMO because it doesn't have the same sort of things like guilds and the ability to put PvP flags on and stuff like that. And I know a lot of people argue that it should have that functionality, but it kind of stands in its own right, doesn't it? It is a dangerous situation. If you want to go into open and you want to expose yourself to all of the troubles out there, then you better be prepared to escape the situation or deal with each situation as it comes.
Oh, it's in the game title, Elite Dangerous.
Exactly. Dark and Dragon saying that you panic so much in PvP, you're the same, hitting everything on sight to escape. Cat's gone flying a few times. Yeah, it's like, just hit the buttons. But I don't know. Shanna's Geek, greetings. Nice to see you there. Yes, you love Frontier Elite 2 combat. I do now. Now that I understand the dynamics and, kind of neutralizing my velocity with respect to the target and staying out of their line of sight and all that kind of stuff. Now I understand all of the process of that and how that works. Love it. I think it's fantastic. But arguably, it's kind of like the difficulty curve. I mean, this is common with Elite, isn't it? The difficulty curve is almost exponential. It's like a brick wall, and then once you understand that, it kind of plateaus, and there is no real kind of challenge beyond that. once you know how to do it, like I've done several times on some of the retro streams, you get a Viper with a mining laser and you're just one-shotting every thing that comes at you. So it's like pop, pop, pop.
Dead.
Yeah. Still not as fun as getting a Panther Clipper with 2,000 shields on it and ramming everything out of the station. But
well, I didn't get that far, sadly. But yeah.
I don't think I ever did it legitimately. I think I definitely did it with the cheats and things that went on there. But,
Naughty Kerrash.
I know. I was 12, so
All right. Okay. No, I'll forgive you.
Yeah. Kids, they just. Speaking of which, I've seen so many hacking incidents in Grand Theft Auto this week as well, which is just crazy. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yeah, I've given up on that game. It's just hacker. Okay, bye.
Yeah, I mean, but it does put it into perspective, though, doesn't it? I think when you look at it and you see people saying, it's like, why are people allowed to cheat and things like that? It's impossible to stop every cheat and hack and things that people do out there. I mean, even in a multiplayer game, it's just no way of doing it. I think that's one of the important things that Sandro was saying on the live stream this week when he was talking about the changes to the crime and punishment system and things that are coming on. And just some of the complexities and the difficulties they got, particularly with it being the peer-to-peer side of things. They can't rely on anyone being legitimately, anyone's machine being 100% honest and having the authority in any kind of transaction. So there's no easy solution to a lot of these problems.
Well, to be honest, I'm yet to encounter a single hacker in Elite.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I have myself. I mean, I've seen one or two people disconnect mid-combat and stuff like that, but I don't. that's not really an exploit. I mean, I think in at least 50% of those cases, I know that the person had legitimately suffered network problems, so it wasn't even on purpose. But I mean, I've never really seen anyone hacking. I was aware that there were a lot of cheats. I was also aware that there were a lot of bans. I can't say anything more than that, but they do deal with it. It does get dealt with.
I sort of wish they were a bit more open about that, to be honest, because you report someone and you don't hear anything about it, or,
It's tricky because I think Zach has kind of been quite straightforward and honest about it on the forum. Is that they can't really discuss the process or whether or not they've done certain things, because in doing that it exposes information about what their process is and what they're listening to, what they're not listening to, and how they're doing that kind of thing. And if they do that, if they expose that information, it weakens their ability to control exploitation. Because you give up free information. That's a hacker's dream. That's what hackers want. They want to know how you do things so that they can learn the limits and how to exploit. And I mean, one of the things which I think has been made public is the fact that they tend to work bans on like a statistical sort of measure, which kind of makes sense. That if people are seeing things happen once or twice, then that person probably isn't going to get a slap on the wrist or anything, because it could be a lot of reasons why things like that would happen. Like I said, transient network conditions, things like that. But if it's like a continuous thing where this person is being reported multiple times by multiple people, then it's something that obviously they'll dig into and look a little deeper. And I think that's kind of a sensible way to look at it, really. Hardlight Legion, greetings, Commander. Thanks for joining in. And Shedges.
Hades.
Hades, thank you.
She's one of my friends from Denmark, and this is Dondius. Hi guys.
Greetings. I'm terrible at pronouncing things. And Dondius, greetings, Dondius.
I'm trying to get him to play the game, but he's got it, but he won't play it. I don't know.
Well, eventually there will be something for everyone in this game, so
True.
It's all coming. Andy Pipkin, hit the nail on the head there. The karma system is a thing that Sandro said that they're working on this thing. I like the idea of that. I mean, that kind of feeds into something which was mentioned in the DDF way back. It was like this idea of someone eventually becoming a fugitive and not being able to use the services and systems which are high security and things like that, which makes absolute sense. It's in lore explanation for why that you shouldn't be a jerk in game because
that's the thing.
And it's a difficult balance because, like I said, it's like they don't want to discourage player interactions. They would love if everyone played in open so there was more interactions, but at the same time it's like they've got to try and stop people from being complete jerks and ruining other people's experiences. Like, how do you kind of do that balance? That's something which they've been struggling with since the start, but it will improve over time.
Yeah, definitely. I have full faith in Frontier. I mean, I've seen some people actually complain about their methods and how they're doing things, but I think they're doing a great job.
I mean, considering the complexity of the task, they are doing a fantastic job of incrementally improving the game step by step. They've been listening to all of the criticism and feedback, and I know that a lot of people will kind of point at this, but thing X has not been fixed since day dot, and it's it's terrible. The game is broken without purple HUD sliders, so I can change. And it's and it's like
my blood can boil when people just say the game's broken. I'm like, okay, you obviously don't have any understanding of how things work. Coding a game with this complexity it's a monumental task.
Exactly. I mean, if there was something like a shader bug that meant that the HUD wouldn't render for 90% of players, but then there was a tiny little shadow glitch which happened for 1% of the player base sometimes when they looked at a crater at a certain angle or something like that, you've got to kind of weigh up which one of these is gonna be the high priority fix. That's the way you've got to look at these things. It's all about a balance, really.
Okay. Sorry, Kerrash. Hardline has said You seen the new trailer? I posted it. We got to talk about it now.
Well, absolutely. Yes. PlayStation 4 confirmed. I'm really, really chuffed about it. I mean, I don't own a PlayStation 4 myself, but I know there's a lot of my friends have asked, it's like, is it going to come to PS4? Because they've got a PS4, and I haven't been able to say anything for a while. I usually went with the line, I wouldn't say no. Or I can neither confirm nor deny.
Speculation.
Exactly. But it's no longer speculation. We don't need the banner. It's been confirmed. So, yes, it is landing in Q2 next year sometime, which is fantastic. That's going to be after 2.3, which has also been confirmed on there. Have we got the... Let's see if we can get... We haven't got any pictures of the trailer, have we, unfortunately? Let's see if we can get the reference button here. I
should have made some for you, actually.
That's okay, there's no worries. Let's see if we can get it playing. There we go.
That's a good question, Alveric.
Awesome. And I think it does a fantastic job of showing off just the sheer volume of stuff which is in this game, because as was just mentioned in the chat, actually, yeah, I mean, the game has come such a long way since the very beginning, and people forget that. I mean, I stress people should go back and look at like a 1.0 version stream that I did, like 2 years ago or whatever it was. Go back and have a look at that. This is a breakdown of the trailer. Damn, it's the wrong one, is it?
Oh, nice. That's a good one. Which one is
that? Oh, that's the one that you sent.
So the one I sent? I sent the wrong one then. Hey,
oops.
Hang on a second. This is the PS4 trailer, right?
Should be able to paste it in there. See if I can get it up on there.
How did I get that wrong?
I was talking.
Sorry.
I was talking over it anyway.
My bad.
So one of the things that's hinted in there as well is the PlayStation Pro support as well, which is being considered obviously for the 4K. Oh, where did that link go, buddy?
Hang on a second.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
Is this the one? This is the one. I've got. Okay, here's the link. Okay, Andy's got one there with a breakdown, which is probably a bit better.
Cool. I think Dirty's got the thing in there. Hang on, let's see.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go. Excellent.
That's the one. Sorry, people, my bad. I derped.
Cool. There we go. I like that. That should be my background now. I put that in there. So yes, it was announced. See, I could freeze frame this and pause all the little subtle references. So it was announced on the PlayStation blog this week by David Braben. He did a little piece for them on there, and it is fantastic news. It's really, really cool to see it coming to more players, more another platform as well. Because when you look back at the original Elite, it came on practically every frigging platform that was out at the time. I think there was only like about a handful of machines. It's easier to list the machines it wasn't on back in the day. I think was it the MSX or something like that. One of them. No, there was an MSX.
It won't run on your calculator. Sorry.
yeah. But sorry, I missed. Happy Sack says, was that griefers that randomly kill players? Don't call them griefers. Call them what they are in game: murderers and pirates. And now the police will hunt them down like animals. They're never going to leave anarchy systems. Well, yeah, I mean that's kind of the idea, like the fugitive status, that you become someone who's so hated in the galaxy that you start to lose functionality of starports and things like that, and you have to go to bad systems all the time, which kind of makes sense, kind of.
Yeah, that's where you belong.
Completely preventing player interaction, but pushing those player interactions into the areas that you'd expect it, so that the high security systems are still nice and approachable for new players and things like that. But then the anarchy and the low sec systems are dangerous, because there should be dangerous places in space. It's Elite dangerous.
Yes.
Good.
Aleveric says, I'm curious, how long have you known about the PS4 port to Crash?
How long have I had it confirmed, or how long? I suppose I could. Yeah, I mean, I could say. I think 2014 I went to Gamescom. I think that was then, and I helped with a behind the closed doors demo to some Sony execs. So
Ooh.
it's been on the cards a little while. it's it's finally out there, which is really really awesome to see. But yeah, they were really really keen on it. They were very impressed with the game and everything, and what they was promising and everything. And I think it's fantastic because there was a lot of people that wanted this kind of experience. They were looking at like No Man's Sky and stuff like that. And as much as No Man's Sky is a great game in its own right for the way that it was trying to do what it wanted to do. But I think a lot of people were expecting something more realistic and more believable universe, which is exactly what Elite is. So it's nice to see now that there's an alternative for it coming down the pipe for people that want that style of game on there.
Definitely.
JJ said he's sure he had it on his TI 85 calculator. Did he really? There's probably a port. T-Cork and Crash keep secrets.
No, he doesn't.
No.
He doesn't know a damn thing.
I know nothing.
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 Except for this massive NDA stuck on my wall, which I signed.
Yes, there's at least 3 of them up there, I think.
Oh.
There are layers. There are layers to the NDAs.
Got to get me some of those.
Oh, brilliant. I miss it. I was like JJ said, still waiting them to fix the max distance from start bug.
Max distance from start? Ooh.
What's that? Your max distance is 68,973 light years. So is that? Why is that, JJ? Is it taken into account your entire travel time? So like if you meander around from one starport to another, it takes your total light years in, or how does that work? Or is it? Because I thought the max distance from start was based on literally the direct point-to-point distance between your 2 locations. I thought that's how.
Yes, please specify.
Yeah,
I don't understand what you mean.
Interested to know on that. But again, when you look at it on the grand scheme of things, there might be a few people that were affected by that bug, and it's frustrating. It's annoying. I know. It's like when you look in the statistics, think that's wrong. It's off by 1, and it needs to be shunted along, sort of thing. It's I mean, I admit OCD sort of looking at these things. It's like that's 1 pixel to the right too far. It needs to go back. But it's not, but I understand and I appreciate the importance of prioritizing things for the majority of the player base. So a few people have got that, have they, Toad? Yeah, yours. Yours is like what, halfway to Andromeda now, isn't it? Your max distance. Dear.
I didn't. Hang on a second. When did you reach Triple Elite, Crash? I think I missed that.
I don't think I made a big deal of it, to be honest. I snuck it in.
Fair enough.
And
congratulations, sir.
Thank you. Yes, I did it finally. And I'm working on the bottom one now. Yes, that Quad Elite is going to take me some serious time, I must admit. It's CQC.
It's just hard to get a CQC match, yeah.
It's a I mean, I love it. I love playing CQC. Like, it's just the only way to really guarantee you're going to get a match, I think, is to just find a time and just team up with your friends and form a squad. I think that's the only realistic way of doing it.
Yeah.
Which is a shame, really. There's not more people doing it. But yeah, that's why it's taking so long to get the CQC. I want more matches. I want to play more. But hopefully, there's more coming down the pipe anyway. And
there you go. Malik's gonna get on.
Yes,
Yay!
Yes. We'll have to do some matches. Let me know when you want to do that, and we'll do a few matches. Happy's saying one thing you want to know is when the Anaconda ship kit is having the livery for the Anaconda and the kit was mentioned. You just want the kit. I honestly I don't know the deadlines on that. I think I mean Ed kind of hinted in the streams. Really, it's down to the art guys doing it. I mean the problem with a lot of these things is there are multiple people in multiple teams working on different schedules simultaneously. So you might have the art guys are working on one schedule to get a bunch of things ready, and if they miss like the 2.2 window for a big game update, then the ship kits are not going to be included in 2.2. You know what I mean? So it's like that's a real pain.
Yeah.
So it's like they might have a bunch of ship kits which are done and ready, but until they get bundled into 2.3 or you know, a big update coming down the pipe, we won't see them, because all of the ship kits, obviously the first step is the files need to be transferred onto the clients. Every player needs all of the files to render the ship kits. Once they're out there, then they can start putting them the accessibility on the back end so that the players' accounts can access the ship kits. And then the store team need to link up all of the store accounts with all of the game accounts so that you can go in, you can purchase them, and they get associated with it. There's so many layers to it to make it happen, and if it misses one window of a schedule.
But this is what I'm talking about, like the complexity of this game. Some people just don't understand why they're saying, just fix my bug. It's not as easy as that.
Yeah, it's gonna take a team of people a week to get that one thing sorted. So, you know,
Yes.
and they're rightfully doing the correct thing of looking at the thing which is affecting hundreds of people and fixing those things first. I mean, some of the things which is was really good to know actually about bug fixes and things is obviously they're continuing to work on the networking side of things, because I know there's, you know, networking is a real problem for everyone, really. You know, there's all kinds of little bits and pieces that could go wrong with it. And they are continuing to work on improvements and things to improve the quality of life on that. But I don't think you can ever really blame Frontier for most of the problems I see reported, you know, because they tend to be due to like network conditions and your ISP and things like. It's a bit like I don't know, like blaming the producer of a TV show for the quality of the broadcast you're getting down off your satellite dish. You know, it's like they just made the content. You know, it's not.
Yeah.
You know, it's not their fault that the network is dying and you're not getting the quality down. That's.
Well, actually, do you know how big the QA team is at Frontier?
Oh, good question. I mean, they're I don't know if they have it split anymore. I don't think it's a shared resource anymore. I think there are some shared resources which kind of go across projects. But last time I went there, I think there was at least a dozen people in the one room at least working on
testing full time.
Yeah, you're pretty much full time. Yeah, bugs and working on anything which was raised from the customer support team and things like that. Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of a lot
That's
of
a pretty big,
things.
pretty big team actually.
Yeah, for that kind of stuff. Yeah, definitely. Andy people saying, didn't they say they're limited on resources right now? I think like most UK companies, I mean, this time of year, even mine is the same as well. There's a lot of people are holidays and things like that. So yeah, they're probably on skeleton crew at the moment. That's the way these things are. Alaverick saying, I wonder if the Anaconda ship kit is harder due to the battle damage mesh. That's yeah, it's definitely going to be more difficult. I mean, if nothing else, just the sheer scale of the Anaconda means there's a lot more to do to make it work.
Yeah. They are more complex meshes, though.
Absolutely. Dark and Dragon's got a good question there. So, with the arrival of the Oculus Touch, wouldn't it be great if we could do the integration with multi-crew, connecting the void of virtual and ship interaction? Yeah, I like the idea of, you know, reaching out and touching the panels or something like that would be pretty cool. You know, on the side of the ship, so just kind of pressing the things like that. I mean, I just love in VR because you just don't get a sense of it. Just even with like head looking around in the main game. When you go in something like the Vive or the Oculus and you lean in and you realise that center console there is actually like, you know, the scanner is like the size of a dinner plate, and it is a circle, but it's in that position there, you know, it's not an ellipse, it is actually generally a flat circle on a surface, and everything sticks out. All of these HUD elements are actually kind of engulfed around your commander's face, and it's not until you kind of get that translational movement and you look around you realise how massively complex these HUDs are. You know, it's not just like in most games where you just have like a flat surface you're putting like your health and your you know, the elements you'd have in like a first-person shooter or something. It's massively complex, but it's so cool though. It really is.
Oh, I really want to try VR, damn it.
Oh, if you do get the chance, it's well worth it, I must admit. And this game just suits it perfectly. It's the fact that VR came along just in the right time for Elite is just an absolute godsend. It's fantastic.
Yeah, Millstone Barn, how's it going, man?
Hey, Millstone, greetings. What's that? Is that happy sex? Just put it. What's this? You got a bug report? Owns.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I love it. You seem to be missing some of your ship there. I think think it might have something to do with the onion head you've been smoking. That's definitely a Kerrash Landing.
Yes. Excellent.
That's it. But yeah, I mean, I've seen similar things like that. I think the one bug that I put in was there was a really strange behaviour that the autopilot was, or I say that the bringing the ship back to land on the surface was literally barreling into the surface at the ridiculous rate of knots and landing upside down. And I was like, "What have you done to my ship?" That was a good one. I've not seen that in quite a few months though.
Suzuka Sakurai says onion head. Yes, it's an in-game drug.
Yes,
Basically.
yeah. One. I think probably. No, maybe not the only. No, it is actually. I think it is probably the only reason that little symbol. Let me get it a little bit bigger. Can we? That little symbol there, the onion head symbol. The in-game drug reference is one of the reasons why the game is rated T for teen. Because it's that ridiculous. That's how the Peggy thing works. Is like if you mention a drug, even if it's a, this artificial thing that doesn't really exist. It's just a made up for the game. That suddenly bumps it up the Peggy rating. Otherwise, the game would have been rated 3. Instead of 7. It's madness. Yeah. It's madness. Oh, dear. Yes, and we should probably get onto the newsletter, shouldn't we, my friend? It's half 8 already. Newsletter 154 this week, and I think we've already touched a lot of the pieces in there. Obviously, the news of the PlayStation 4, which is really, really awesome. Let's skip on down. The live streams as well, of course. Let's get the actually once we get that, let's get the trailer up and running. Coming to PlayStation 4 for $39.99, an absolute bargain for an entire galaxy.
That is a bargain. Wow.
Just the one galaxy. There we go. T for teen. I'm going to pause that on that thing there. T for teen. Drug reference. Oh, wrong screen. Drug reference and violence. So it gets a T rating. There we go. Kill a bunch of people, rated PG, use the word drugs, and it's rated T. Danger! Exactly, right? It's crazy. That's the world we live in, though, isn't it? So I'm gonna put this on freeze frame mode. I'm gonna skip through this really, really slowly, and if we see something.
Hey, Max Ursa, how's it going?
Hey!
Oh, freeze frame! Oh, yeah. Just missed it.
What did I miss? What did I miss?
No, I'm obviously watching in delay. I was like, why go back?
Slow down. So we've got some of the new station interiors. Obviously, I mean, this is the great thing about it. Is like, obviously, people who are buying it on PlayStation 4 for the first time are going to be seeing the game as it will be then, rather than as it was for us when we first got version 1.0 sort of thing. So it's it's like I said, sometimes you've just got to go back and look at it to appreciate where it's come from. I think it just shows a massive level of progression. Some more hints at the commander creator standing inside the cockpit there. It's just,
I want that. I want to walk around my ship.
Jeez. Can't wait for that. Subtle little hints there. I'm just running it through really slowly. Laverick, I don't believe PlayStation VR has been mentioned yet. I don't. It would be nice if it could be done, but there's a lot of challenges as to whether or not that's going to work on there. Because obviously, what they've tended to do with the demos you see in PSVR at the moment is that they have massively limited the quality of the rendering so that it can render it at the 90 hertz you need. It's 1080p, but it is they've kind of bumped the level of detail down and things like that. I mean, if any game is well prepared for it, it's going to be Elite, because obviously the engine can scale massively up and down to different hardware, so it is entirely possible. But I mean, so many things need to fall in place to make that happen. It's not just a simple case of going, well, it's on PlayStation 4, so they can just turn the switch and there you go, VR, woohoo! It's nowhere near that easy.
No. Yeah, Surface Lot says coming to a console near you, yet instancing and bugs are still around. Well, bugs are always going to be around. That's not something you're going to get rid of.
Yeah, and particularly, I mean, like the instancing thing, like we touched on. Most of the things where I see where people say something about like instancing being an issue, or just general, peer-to-peer connection between the other players and stuff like that, it usually is your ISP or your friend's ISP or something like that, which is nerfing peer-to-peer bandwidth and things like that. It's an absolute nightmare. I mean, there's virtually nothing that Frontier can do to solve those sort of problems.
Okay, we're in an asteroid belt right now, and I see stations, and I'm like, okay, are they player-owned station? Speculation.
Speculation. Oh, crikey! What's that? It's just skipped forward in the video. Hang on 1 second. Oh, I've lost it now. Launch your ship. Let's go back to that bit, because that's the other subtle little thing there. It says launching your ship. It's like, well, we've been to do that for a while.
Your ship, yeah.
Bowden's Hollow. Let's ring any bells, that name on there? I'm going to leave that up on the screen there for a little bit. Yeah, so yes, this is the long-toted hint at the asteroid base, which is something which Michael Brooks has been really keen on doing for a long, long time. But obviously you can see I can't quite reach it, but the little details in there. You've got the it's the same kind of docking mechanisms and stuff like that, but obviously built inside a huge asteroid. I'm gonna love these damn things. This is gonna be my new home once I see one of these. It's gonna be awesome.
Oh yeah.
Asteroid base. Yes, Zaranil. Yeah, it definitely looks like one of the new bases. So that's again a little hint. Doesn't that station name share a spoiler with a certain book? Maybe, caramba, maybe. Bowden's Hollow, absolutely. Yes, I cannot wait for that. It's going to be really, really awesome. It's not in-game currently. No, it's not.
Oh,
it's not.
There you go. Interesting.
So we've got some of the words. I mean, this again, some of the little things. I'm in the way of little things here. Just some of the little words on here. Customize, repair, passengers, weapons, all of the various bits and pieces. Again, so much has been added to the game incrementally over these months. So we've all become used to it. We forget that there's so much in the game. But definitely for players coming in fresh on the PlayStation, it's going to be an absolute kind of mind blow because there's so much in there.
Mr. Junks says, Crash, you already have a system you really pick.
I want an asteroid base in it as well. It's not fair.
Yes, I want all the things.
And I want a special command. I want Crash coffee. We've got to have it.
I saw actually somebody posted a picture of this trailer at one point, and they said there was a dolphin in there.
Free the dolphin!
Free the dolphin!
Oh yes. There's some nice little hints now. I mean, I honestly don't know what the reason was that the dolphin didn't make it into. I think, is that a new paint job for the beluga? It's difficult to see there. It's kind of or is that just the vibrant pack? I'm not sure. I can't really tell.
Not sure, no.
Happy Jack, you still have to bomb my planet with bio-waste. Awesome. The dolphin would be in the shot with the belugas. Is it in there? Pulsar, what have we got on here? 400 billion stars. A subtle little reference.
Just a few.
Just like a walk in the park, really, isn't it? Looked like a new paint job on the Imperial Eagle as well. Yeah, I think it may be. DJ.
Hey, Tarjan.
Yeah, I'd love to see it in. I'm not sure whether it was a technical reason why they didn't put it in, or whether it was the fact that it was there was no distinctive reason to put it in yet. I mean, with like the Orca and the Beluga, there was no kind of position for it to fit. It wasn't distinctive enough in its own right to fit in there, so it might have been held back until there is such a feature in the game which would make it an interesting offer. And on the subject of that was something which was brought up in the live stream this week. It was the one of the things which is being tested in... Oh no, is that in the beta now? I'm not sure. I know the module reinforcements is one of the things which is in the beta, isn't it? So you can choose to reinforce certain modules that you want to do. protect, but then also the idea of having specialist slots inside your ship. So like combat ships can have internal modules which are better for specific roles and things like that. So I'm going to leave this on the screen for a little bit. This is another subtle hint at some different stuff going on as well. So that's kind of the module slot specialization and things like that coming in. So yeah, I mean there could be some of the reasons why the ship is being held back on that. Is that no? It's not Shaxx actually, Lavrix. That is a new station design. You see, I like the. It's almost like a. It's not a Dyson cylinder. I'm trying to remember the design. I can't remember the design of it, but it's like a cylindrical station.
It's in Founders World too. Interesting.
I love that. What have we got on there? Choose your allies. Funny they say that over the Imperial battle cruisers in the background there. It's like, yeah, subtle hint there. I'm sure David approved that shot. Yeah.
And what's this? Oh, I saw some weird formations on the ground there.
Yeah, so you got the fumarole geysers and things like that you do see. I mean, that's already in the current thing. 420 fish sticks. Is that a new mobile station? It may well be. Similar sort of thing. It does look like a generation ship, doesn't it, Andy? Yes. Looks like a long range hauler. I wish I had an image to show, but that was one of the things I loved from Frontier Elite 2 is like occasionally you go to a space station and it would be one of these long-range cruiser ships just parked up outside. So I'm hoping it's a return of one of those things, because it would be really awesome to just see a couple of those occasionally just jumping into a system and sitting there.
Oh yeah, sure.
I've started an imp versus Fed argument in the chat now. Oh dear! Always with them. Yeah.
I say down with the Federation, down with the Empire, down with them all.
Yeah.
Live in chaos.
I'm off to Colonia. Sod the lot.
It's much prettier out there anyway.
Oh, this is nice. So you can see this. I'm going to slow this right down. You can see. So first of all, we've got the commander shown in the fighter here, which is the. You can see the face of the character in there, which is nice. Because obviously you see all the commanders at the moment. Everyone's got their helmets on it, obviously at the moment. But that's a subtle hint there that one of the really nice things you're going to be able to see is be able to see the people's faces when they're inside the different ships and stuff.
But that makes no sense for it to be in a fighter, because a fighter is the
drone thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work. Whether or not that's a multi-crew thing.
Multi-crew thing, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe. I love that though. I mean, sorry. It's a real shame that there's no better way of seeing this animation play out in game for this fighter, because it is fantastic. The way that it folds out and then collapses back in when you dock it and everything like that. It's a real shame that you can't see that in more detail in game, because it's so fast. Out it goes. It's wonderful. I mean, just the sheer detail, and it's it's physically accurate as well. It actually folds up properly. It's awesome.
Very nice animation.
Noodles and Mrs. Noodles, greetings.
Hello, Noodles sisters. I love the Taipan. That's such a fun ship to fly.
It is, yeah, absolutely fantastic. And it's nice sturdy fighter compared to the other ones as well, because it's obviously a bit more armor on it as well, and still pretty nippy. And particularly with them, like I've got it equipped with the fixed beam lasers at the moment. It packs a punch. I think it's like 42 on DPS scale, which is
yeah. I've been watching Commander Mercenary Thorn use it in combat conflict zones. He kills everything.
Yeah, it's
he's a good pilot though.
Packs a punch. Some nice little hints on that.
If you can see my wings unfold, you're too close.
I want that as a bumper sticker. That's awesome.
That's a bumper sticker right there.
Yeah, Laverick. Yeah, exactly. That's the what we were just thinking about then is if it's supposed to be telepresence, why would you see the commander? I don't know, because because reasons. It's a game.
Because multi-crew.
Yeah, because it looks cool. Yeah, I'm going to go with multi-crew. I think that's the
Multi-crew.
most fun option on there. But yeah, it does raise it's all those kind of interesting problems again, isn't it? It's all of these things that we've discussed. Again, this is a nice subtle little thing that we mentioned earlier on is the rank insignia on your commander's arms or your shoulder position there will it's been doing that for ages, but no one's really noticed. It's been there for ages. Have a look in VR if you get the chance. There we go. Got your co-pilot in the corner there, being able to look over. And that's the real cool thing about having the head look as well. As you're physically being able to see other people in the other seats and things like that. That's going to be pretty cool. The classic pan out of the Cobra there. It's got to be the Cobra, hasn't it? Classic ship. Oh, that's a good point from Commander Moonprayer there. Did you register that, Toad? You did. You did register it. Toad's independent traders. Brilliant. Can you onion head on an arm logo there for Bitstorm? I was like, that would be fun. That would be fun. But no, not just yet.
Let's see. Tarjan's on about a new build he's got in the beta.
Crikey, he's got a courier with 2 cannons with a 6.9 kilometer range, and
yikes!
So what's that? 1.6 kilometer a second shells, plasma cannon with unlimited ammo, and a 60 minute plasma balls faster than a multi cannon shot. Oh yeah, because that was one of the other really cool things actually. Is the plasma accelerators can now do the plasma slugs in the beta, so that if you run out of ammo, you can sacrifice some fuel to do it. I'm not sure. Have you had a chance to play with that at all, Ian?
No.
No. I'm reading all these things, all these possibilities. I want to try. I mean, I love it because that goes back to like the Frontier Elite 2 way of doing things, because it did use up your fuel when you used a plasma accelerator in the previous games. And going back to that, I think it's just a fantastic way of doing it, because it's going to catch a few people out. I know it is. They're going to drain their main fuel tank firing off shots, not realising, and then having to kind of leg it out of a combat zone or whatever to go and refuel a bit quick. So I think it's going to be an interesting balance how that's going to work.
Yeah, the fuel rats have a new job.
Yeah, exactly. Rescuing combat ships that have stranded themselves.
Out of ammo.
Yeah. That's an interesting one. It's like, do we refuel you, or are you just going to shoot me in the back as soon as I refuel you?
Interesting. Some nice game mechanics coming out of there.
Yeah, I mean, that could well be a thing. They lay a trap.
Yeah, who knows?
Just a thing. What's that? Alexander, you assumed in Frontier 2 is because you were expending fuel to beat the recoil. The original plasma accelerator, it was huge. Yeah, exactly. Huge, but no, it did burn up fuel from your fuel tank to fire. Firedough saying people will do a mad dog in combat.
Mad dog in combat. Yep. Probably.
Yes, people will combat dog. Sorry. I'm full of terrible puns now.
You're allowed. You're the host.
Exactly. What's that? DJ you've got a long range mod on the plasma cannon, and double up the projector speed. I want to play with some of these mods. There's some really cool possibilities of all of the different things coming out, but I just haven't had a chance to play with it yet. It's not fair.
And in case anybody doesn't know, if you get into the meter right now and you clear your save, you end up at Marco Gwent with 1 billion credits, and he has all ships, all modules, all upgrades. So knock yourself out.
Brilliant. That's the way to do it. So you've got no excuse if you have beta access. Get in there, clear your save, have fun, mess around.
Yes.
That's what it's all about. It's really about helping Frontier find all of those little wrinkles in the things.
And fish, yes, Commander Malik, you need fish, and he sells fish. So.
Yes, lots of fish. And of course, that was one of the changes which is being considered at the moment. I think there's a thread in the beta section of the forum, which I believe I've got here. Let's just grab the link for everyone. So if you do, like I said, if you do have beta access, now is the time to get in there and help the guys out. Put the link in the chat there. So in that section there is a thread which is currently ongoing. They're talking about possibilities of like removing the commodity requirements, if they do, if they remove the commodity requirements, what options there are and things like that. Also, there was some other threads in there. Hang on, let me get away from this star a second.
That's one thing I was a bit confused about. They're going to remove commodities from the blueprints, probably temporarily until we get some sort of storage method. But does that mean that we'll need more materials, or will the materials stay the same? So it'll be pretty easy to get stuff.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things they're saying is an option on there. Is it will make it a lot easier for the time being to achieve those engineer upgrades, which I think is probably a good thing. It's going to encourage more people to try it. Definitely.
Oh yeah.
I think the accessibility of the engineers needs to be addressed, because it is very difficult if you don't know what you're doing to begin with. There were a lot of tricks to it. I know, and I'm looking at you, Toad. I know you know a lot of tricks to get all of the required things, but I think for a lot of people, it's kind of daunting. Where do you start to get the things you need?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to consider myself a pretty experienced player, and I like, I just don't have the time either.
Yeah, it's difficult to say the least. Oh, we're approaching my destination. I'll see if I can get there tonight. I hope I can.
Oh, really?
Getting warmer. I'm halfway to the one of the stop off points on the way to Jacques. So I'm not at Jacques yet. Nearly there. Oh, that's. There we go. 1,002 light years. Damn it.
Must jump faster.
DJ said yes, that's going to happen after the 2.203 beta goes live.
Yeah.
Should we dump our existing commodities? I mean, I don't know. I mean, to Corkin, if you are kind of gathering them up to work on doing the engineer upgrades, then you might as well keep them and use them up. But yeah, it looks like that's going to be changed. One of the other things which is going to come in is I know there's been a lot of talk about it. I think I've done a few of these missions myself as well. I was doing some of the skimmer missions over the last couple of weeks.
Those?
Skimmer missions, they are the flavour of the month, as it were. But yeah, they are approaching a balance pass for those as well. So there's going to be some changes to it. And it was mentioned on the thread that there's a lot of reasons why they can't address. Let me just go back just to give it a little bit of backstep. So the problem with it is you can accept multiple missions for the same locations, and killing one skimmer will increment the counter for all active missions.
Yes.
So obviously you can stack them up. So if you get 12 missions and the most you have to kill is 8 skimmers, you will pass all 12 missions by killing just 8. It's not an incremental cumulative total of all of the missions. So there's a lot of reasons why they can't do that behind the scenes. So there's been some talk as to how they're going to deal with that, what options they've got at the moment. And the prevailing option seems to be to increase the reward for the missions slightly, but prevent multiple of them from being stackable. So you can't accept multiple missions into your transactions table if you've already got one for a location, for example. It won't let you accept another mission in that thing, which I think is the perfect solution to that. I mean, they don't really want to discourage people from doing those missions because they are fun missions. They do get pretty good rewards for it, so that they're looking at bumping the rewards up a little bit so that they are more kind of worthwhile to just get one of these missions and go and do it. So they don't want to discourage people.
Yeah, I know, but I've done those missions too, and you can make 60 million in one run, which is just ridiculous.
yeah, I've done a few like that. You just get so much money so quickly, and it's not that they want to stop people from enjoying parts of the game. It's just trying to find that balance where it's fair. It's like it is kind of an exploitation of the mechanics. It shouldn't really be allowed in there. So I can understand why they want to patch it up. Yes, I am aware of that one as well. The skimmers getting counted as ship kills. which is that's another bug on top of the way that works as well.
Tarjan says, I'm not going to run to Jacques, I'm going to fight Thargoids. But why? Maybe they just want a hug.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah. I for one welcome our insect overlords.
Yeah. Instantly think they're going to be hostile. Assumption, Tarjan.
I need a new banner. Yes, an assumption banner. Yes. need another here. Bitsman saying, surely as always, the issue is relogging. Yeah, so that's you do not see why they cannot persist the base state in the client. Where to start? It's complicated. It's complicated. The boards are generated based on a bunch of things, so they're kind of like in both locations at once. So your client is generating the board, but it's based on the transient data that is being sent down from the servers. So it depends on things like the system state and your reputation and stuff like that. So all of that's got to come from the server end. It gets fed into the client. The client will generate the mission boards, but then there's no. It's also got to sync up with the server's clock, because the mission boards regenerate every 5 minutes as well, based on that thing. So you get like this regeneration of the boards. There's a lot of reasons why it can't just simply do it. It's behind the scenes. It's hard to explain it without giving things away, which I can't.
Don't do it. Don't do it, Crash.
It's complicated.
Yes.
Am I allergic to hugs since I am running like hell? You noticed I'm getting the heck out of the bubble then.
He's not running. He's just going to pay a visit to some friends.
I'm just going to see an old friend. Never forgets a face.
Mr. Junk's confused. Really? This is news to me. That never happens. Getting better at the sign language, Crash. Keep working on it. Okay.
yes. It's all wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff. There you go.
Almost consider you Italian.
Yes, gesticulating crazy. Yes. I think it must be in my genes. And I think a lot of people have determined that I must at least be partially Canadian, some Canadian roots. The amount of times I apologise for everyone and everything. That's just me.
Mr. Junks, I'm always confused. Old age kicking in. Okay.
I can understand that entirely. So let's go back to the newsletter on the thing. So yes, there was an interesting section on there. Was a Q&A with Gary Richards. So Gary, nice big picture of Gary on there, which I've had the pleasure of meeting Gary on there. I think he was. I think he was a producer on the Xbox version. He's now senior producer. I have noticed over the last couple of days, actually. I want to say congratulations to a bunch of guys in Frontier, because I've seen a whole bunch of them have been promoted to newer positions now, which is congrats, guys. This must be due to the success of various things happening on Frontier at the moment, which is really awesome. So yeah, nice little break. And they're talking about some of the things that are coming up in PlayStation 4 version, which is coming down the pipe. Obviously, they will be getting 2.3, which kind of gives you a hint of the fact that 2.3 is going to come sometime between now and before quarter 2. There we go. There you go. Ballpark figure, sometime in that period on there. And then eventually, obviously, we'll be getting 2.4. So I think that kind of subtly points out that we're probably going to be seeing 2.4 quarter 2, maybe after.
That's 2.4 was the last for season 2, right?
It was exactly, yeah. And I think when you look at it from that sort of perspective, it kind of makes sense that maybe E3, Gamescom, that sort of period of time would be a good time for them to start hyping up 2.4, and because I think 2.4 is the last Horizons patch, isn't it? It's the question one that we can't talk about, and because reasons. But
you know, don't you? Don't you, Crash?
I know nothing. Damn
it! Get him drunk somewhere.
I think it's I can't confirm or deny nothing. I need more Red Bull and vodka.
Okay.
Crash vaguely hinted at it, so it must be true. Hang on. I'll put the banner up. There we go. Now I can hint away without.
Oh yeah, safe now.
But I think it was 1.4, which hit at the same time as 2.0, wasn't it? If I remember the timelines. 1.4. No, it was 1.4, and then they were kind of announced right next to each other, weren't they? I think because we had Horizons was Gamescom last year.
But weren't they were the same release, weren't they?
I think it was, yeah, because you had the 32-bit was 1.4, and then the 64-bit was Horizons on 2.0, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I think they were at the same time.
Yeah,
So,
1.4 for people who didn't have Horizons. I think.
Exactly. So I'm pretty much thinking we're probably going to see 3.0 again in parallel with 2.4 being announced at the same time. So I can well understand why it's pushed out a little bit. You know, we're not gonna see that immediately.
Season 3. I'm so
Season
excited.
3 already.
Damn it. God damn.
Was it 1.5? Was it Milestone? I forget in my time. Again, it's funny when you go back and you look at 1.0 and you see all the things that weren't in it. Things like, you know, community goals didn't exist. You know. Yeah, of course it didn't. Yeah, wings. Oh yeah, wings. We didn't have wings.
We didn't have wings.
We I think the in-game chat didn't appear until like 1.1. I think so. We couldn't even chat to each other. You know, which was crazy.
Yeah, that wasn't even working. That was so. I sent you a million messages in the game and none of them turned up.
Yeah, yeah. I wasn't rude. I wasn't being ignorant.
No. I was like, hey, Crash.
They were disappearing
Crash,
into the ether. DJ, yeah, I reckon it was a 3.0. I mean, it makes sense for them to plan major releases to hit at the time of these important events and things like that. It makes absolute sense.
Tarjan, shut up! You don't even play in groups or open. You solo player, you. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
When the instant, yeah, I mean, we've said it a few times on there. It is that unfortunate thing, you know, the transient network conditions. Like I said, I like that analogy. I'm going to go back to that analogy on there. It's like, you know, blaming Frontier for the network conditions is like blaming the person who produced a TV program for the quality of the broadcast you're getting into your TV. That's what can they do? You know, they want you to have the best experience for their content that they've created, but they can't control it. Not much they can do.
Oh, sorry, didn't mean to bang my microphone.
No worries. All of this. Who's that? Fen Shashler, greetings. All of this 2.3. You feel like you're in a Star Citizen stream. Was it 2.6 is on the cards for them now? I think that they're aiming to get 2.6 out in the next couple of days, which should be pretty cool to see where they've progressed with that. I was watching the Reverse the Verse episode for earlier on in the week, so it'd be interesting to see what they do with that. As much as I am a complete and utter elite fanboy, I like games. I like space games. I don't care about all this us versus them business that gets spread around on the internet. I don't care about that. I like games. I like to play games. PS4, then the Wii U. Yeah, I'm tempted to insert a picture of the original BBC version and say this is the Wii U port on the screen. That's me totally trolling. I won't get it. It was a shame what happened with No Man's Sky, DJ. It's. I see what they wanted to do, but it was, from a PR standpoint, it was handled terribly. It really should not have been hyped up as much as it was. It's real unfortunate. It's gone that way. I like what they do. I like the idea of base building and stuff like that is pretty cool, and where they want to go with it. But I think they've shot themselves in the foot and burnt a lot of bridges early on by just really badly handling the marketing of the game, which is a shame.
Yes, indeed. I don't know. When I first saw that game, I was like, "Oh my god, this is what I want." But
it sounded really cool. I mean, it's happened so many times with other games over the years as well. When you look at things like Spore, I loved the idea of that when Spore was first announced, and it just died a death because from a kind of business point of view, they tried to treat it like The Sims and split it up and kind of divvy up the content, and it was just so sparse on the ground when it launched, and the copy protection that it came in it, and it just absolutely killed it because it just wasn't handled very well. It just goes to show that there's more to a game than having a cool idea and getting it out there. It's that kind of that entire life cycle of it, and the maintaining it over time.
Toad, you can polish it. I see that episode. That was epic.
Yeah. Mythbusters for the win. I love it. Yeah, it's still a turd. Even if you roll in glitter, it's still a turd. Yeah. Shanna, hello, greetings, and I think Frontier need to be a bit careful with the trailers, as the PS4 one seems to use some non-game generated footage. There is a couple of little, cinematic things which have been added in for extra spice. It is a common practice which you see in a lot of things these days, and I know there's been obviously the stuff that Valve are now pushing for developers, that if they use trailers and game content, they should not use something which is not in-game content to represent the product when they're selling it on the Steam storefront. I can understand the reason for that. I think as long as developers are upfront and they put the old kind of not in-game footage things on there, I think they're pretty much covered by that. Oh yes, Stephen Usher. Yes, let's get back to the newsletter whilst we get there. So. Yes, Ramtaz breaks his silence up. We'll jump onto that really quickly. So, newsletter. Let's get the newsletter on the screen. So some of the cool things, which I'm kind of envious of the PS4 stuff now, because they've said some of the really cool things they've done with the DualShock on there is using the touchpad for things like the Galaxy map and having extra buttons there for mapping the control scheme to different options and things like that, which would be... I almost want to get a PS4 joypad now so that I can play with it. It's not fair. But of course, one of the cool things is, like with the Xbox One controller for the PC, we'll probably get PS4 controller support backwards compatible onto the PC as well, because the PS4 controller is USB, basically. You can plug it in, which is really, really cool. And that is one of the going straight on to the next bit on there. What does this mean for PC players? Of course, just like with the Xbox release, there's a whole bunch of optimizations and bug fixes and improvements and stuff which have gone into the PS4 version, which are going to be fed back into the PC version, which means better frame rates for us, better quality of the content and stuff like that. So, fantastic. Win-win all round.
Oh, definitely.
Platform.
It's the first time I'm actually happy they're going to bring it out on a console. I'm always I'm always complaining like, the stupid consoles, they're holding back game development because the hardware's inferior, blah blah blah.
Yeah, this is, it goes to show with like having a multi-platform engine like this, which is all in-house, it's all owned by Frontier. They can do whatever they want with it. It just goes to show that building it for multiple platforms can be a good thing if you do it right.
Mm-hmm. PS4 has HOTAS support as well. Really?
Yes. Actually, the Thrustmaster 16,000, the new ones, I think does have PS compatibility. Psycho K, greetings, buddy. Thank you for the hosting that. You're sorry you're late. You're hard to get. What's that? The winner to get his grand costume off. I hate to think what goes on. Well, I did last week. I rather enjoyed sitting there silently with my poorly throat, listening to the Drabble show. It was good fun. I really do. I really do need to try and arrange one week that I can come on and help out with it again, because it was great fun last time I did that. It was brilliant.
We'll be seeing a bank balance say Bank of Seance. What does it say?
Well, it doesn't say it anywhere on the UI, but it's kind of hinted that Xeon's is the hub for the galactic banking industry. Yeah.
Bank of Toad.
Stickster, yeah. The Thrustmaster does have a PC and PlayStation Switch.
Yes, it does.
I have one over here. I would get it in the show, but.
Fen Sash, I own ED on PC and Xbox. Nice one.
Awesome.
That's some support right there.
And Star Citizen. Yeah.
And Star Citizen. I didn't want to mention that, but okay.
No, that's fine. I mean, I've backed Star Citizen. That's what I mean. I was talking to someone earlier on this week. I was saying, I still get flack off people, and it's people like, oh, he's that guy who loves Elite, and it's almost like I'm not allowed to like Star Citizen. It's like, okay,
You've brought that down on yourself, Kerrash.
I know. It's like,
I've backed Star Citizen.
Yeah,
I'm going to wait for the single player campaign. That's
yeah, I'm really like the idea of Squadron 42. I mean, having a I did have this weird kind of crossover dream a couple of weeks ago. It was so surreal. I dreamt the idea of having like a single player campaign in Elite, which is so completely out of the way, of what Elite is. Elite is always about that kind of sandbox, open world sort of thing. But I think it was after watching the cool stuff that was in Star Citizen, thinking, oh, yeah, that would be awesome to have a kind of a story mode or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I missed a great show, Commander Lenslock in there. Ah, Lenslock. I remember those days. I don't think I've got it down there actually. I don't want to go digging through all my tapes, all of my cassettes, and finding them.
It's weird that you say that, actually, Kerrash. Like Tarzan just said the same thing. I never actually considered like a solo campaign for Elite.
I think it would be cool. It would be nice, but it's not really. It's like you wouldn't see a solo campaign for World of Warcraft sort of thing, but it's kind of, when you look at where World of Warcraft has come from and where it's evolved into today, it's almost like you can pretty much solo the game by zipping through all the missions and stuff like that, and they have kind of made it more interactive, more cutscenes, more things kind of encouraging a single player to kind of work through those sort of things. So I can imagine something similar would be really cool for Elite to see that, a story mode added on or something like that. But again, that's pretty much what Star Citizen is doing with Squadron 42, really. So it's going to be great to see that have something which is this huge interactive story that you can play out in that sort of scenario, and then once you're done, you can go off into the bigger, persistent universe, which is pretty cool. It's almost like GTA story mode in GTA Online. It's the same universe, the same kind of city that you're playing around in, but there's two kind of distinctive modes that you can play around in.
And should we continue with the newsletter?
Oh yes, quickly. Yes.
Sidetracked.
Yeah. that's typical Kerrash Landing, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Ooh, shiny.
Ooh, shiny. Let me just aim out of the way of this nearby star, and we'll zip through the newsletter really quickly. So there was a couple of live streams which we have touched on this week. So there was the Q&A. I do encourage everyone to go through that and flip to that. We have touched on quite a few of the topics that Sandro and Mark were talking through. Fair play to them. I think they got through about 60-70% of the questions that were raised on the forum. There were a lot of questions on the forum.
That was a great stream.
Which was really, really cool to see, and I think Sandro was really quite candid and went through a lot of the things which are coming on there, which is really, really cool. And also there was did you catch any of this, which was quite funny actually? Ed and Adam had a bit of a race from one location on a surface to another location. It was going okay up until the last point, but no spoilers, I won't spoil it. Poor Adam got down to about 16% hull. Man, 16. 16's plenty for a man driving an SRV. It's fine. But no more spoilers. No, I'll let you watch that if you didn't catch it earlier on the week. It was really, really good fun. It was great to see them in the
check it out.
What's that system? And another sale going on, I think, at the moment. So we've got the vibrant paint jobs for the Corvette and the Cutter, which is nice. See if I can get these
purple.
bright purple. Let's see if I can. I don't think I can get a bigger picture of that, to be honest. Nope, unfortunately I can't get a bigger picture. But yes, nice brightly coloured picture. See, the problem is I've still not got my Fed in Imperial rank. I know, it's such an embarrassment. The problem is, like I said, my playstyle is like everything else. I wander off and get distracted. I was spending. I mean, to be fair, I managed to get up to like 73% of the way to like. No, I'm on Lieutenant Commander at the moment. I'm 73% of the way to the next rank, and I just kind of got back in my Explorer and wandered off.
Yeah,
Which is-
I feel your pain, Crash.
I
I've
just-
tried to rank up with them too, but it's just, I
just kind of meander away. I mean, that's the beauty of Elite. There's so many different things you can do. You just kind of wander off and just do different things.
Yeah.
It suits me perfectly. So I love that kind of style.
I get distracted so easily. I keep setting goals for myself, which is something you should definitely do in this game.
Yes.
But I just most of them I'm just like, I'll do something else now.
Yeah,
Oh, well.
exactly. I mean, it's fine for me because that's exactly what I enjoy most about the game. It's really, really awesome.
Yeah.
Sticks there. I'm not going to read that. Yes, the big purple cutter. What's up from DJ? DJ. Serious note back from DJ. You could have story missions that took you back to past events and let the players see and interact with them without changing the outcome of the lore. That is a very good idea. I like that. Give people the opportunity to kind of do the Hutton Mug event and things like that, and go back to the Battle of Loo and take part in historic events and stuff like that. And it could all be explained away as in-game. Total Recall experience, something like that. you just having a VR experience, something like that. But that would be cool. I mean, it would let people kind of play out these events, and then at the end of that, they kind of take off their visor and they're dumped into open play in the main galaxy and just totally get on with things. That would be pretty cool.
Yes.
Firejoe, you want the tactical ice white for your Corvette? That would be nice. That would be.
It is a nice
actually.
paint job. I think I've got that one
That
actually.
as well. Again, it's a
Not
question of whether or not it's slowly getting added in. Like I said, all of these teams have got to work together to get it all working in
Yep.
there. So, Mr. Jones for the mug. Yes, massive shout out to my friend Chris Jarvis, which you may have heard of. That name. Obviously, Lave Radio host, but also. This is his project, which he's series 3 now. My goodness. Really, really awesome audio drama that he's been putting together. I mean, the work he puts into this is phenomenal, and it's just brilliant to listen to. So I do recommend you put out. It's great to just put on and listen to. Whilst you're driving to work in this. Unfortunately, I don't drive to work now, so I don't get a chance to listen to things like this, which is but it's really, really awesome. No, I don't have a Corvette either, Pappy, which I'd love to have.
Yeah, they're fun. That's why we got betas though. We can play with them in the beta.
Yeah, exactly. Jump on there. And also massive shout out to the TIIQ guys and Crit Mode that are giving up this pack on it. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get this link for everyone on there. Let's paste that in there. So head on over to that link there. You can enter the competition to win that the track IR setup there and the voice packs, and of course Planet Coaster, which is awesome. Planet Coaster.
Oh.
If you haven't got Planet Coaster, get Planet Coaster. My goodness, it's just so much fun. This is the problem now. It's like every moment I get for playing games is either Elite, Planet Coaster, occasionally GTA. I'm popping in and out of. Civilization I've been getting back into and playing with my son, which he's really enjoying that at the moment. We're going to be playing Beyond Earth as well, which it's just I've got too many games to play. There's too many cool games, aren't there?
I have to agree with you there, Crash. I got Planet Coaster, thankfully, which is epic. I just don't have the time. Too many other games to play.
It's one of those games you could just sit and play for hours and hours and hours, and you don't realize, and before you know it, it's 3 a.m. and you've just built the most epic looking toilet ever. You don't care. It does kind of take from the civilization, just one more turn, and I think on the forums it was just one more piece to the building, just one more piece on there, and one more piece. Dark and Dragon, I can't wait for Planet Coaster in VR. A lot of people have been asking for it. It's something which is perfectly possible in the Cobra engine.
Yeah, sure.
It could be done, but I think that the guys have said multiple times that the issue is just the sheer polygon count that they're pushing to make it look as awesome as it does would mount most PCs trying to run that at 90 hertz that you need for a VR experience. So it's not that it can't be done, it's that none of us have the PCs that could do it right now. Which is,
unless you have dual Titan X's, I don't know.
yeah. Triple SLI, something like that, yeah.
Jeez.
That's a good point there, DJ. Actually, yeah, you go back and play a little bit Diablo 3, and then you realise that grind could be worse elsewhere. Yeah, there's a lot of games with a lot of grind in it. When you go and do something like World of Warcraft or Dark Souls or something like that, if you want something which is epically difficult and or real grind, there are a lot of games out there which will kick your ass and not apologise for it.
Nope.
What's Bitstorm saying is, what about paint? Is that a module tool? Technically, yes. Paint on your ship is dealt with under the hood like it's a module, because it takes wear and tear and it has a repair function and all that stuff. It is effectively a special module. Maybe not have a physical representation in the game like another module does, but the game treats it as such. What's that, Shan? Well, no, actually, I mean, yeah, I know where you're coming from. The control method in VR, they'd have to completely rethink it. It's not just a case of chucking the render at it and saying, yeah, there you go, Planet Coaster's in VR. There would have to be a lot of consideration to how you do it. But the idea of being able to use like the Vive controllers to pick pieces up and construct things. Oh my god, how cool would that be? Being able to
that would be epic, yeah.
To dig, because it's all voxel based scenery and all that. Being able to dig like the shapes out in voxels and move all the pieces around. Oh my goodness, that would be friggin' epic in Planet Coaster.
That would be epic.
I love that. Happy Sack, hoping you can do a Federal assault ship parked on a planet and doing a GTA and stealing it. Maybe eventually, when you can get out and jump around, Dark and Dragons. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. No Limits can do VR as well. Yeah. Again, it's that kind of finding that balance between the quality of the graphics and the refresh rate and things. There's so many things that need to happen to make it work.
2 980 Ti's and they go to waste in Elite.
Oh goodness, yeah, Pappy. I just saw your thing on there. You're saying you've got issues as SLI. I don't know if the particular problems with SLI have been fixed. I think a lot of them, again, it depends on a lot of different things. Much of it in the past, when there's been SLI issues, have been a case of having to wait for NVIDIA to roll out some driver level fix because of some incompatibility with the way that the drivers interact with the game engine, and it's not something that Frontier can immediately fix. That tends to be why there's often delays with SLI patches, not just for Elite but for a lot of different games. It is a real shame, really, because SLI is fantastic if you can afford it, but it's a real pain that compatibility wise you are in the minority in terms of user account. I mean, not everyone can afford to have SLI, so even NVIDIA kind of recognize that. I mean, you see that with the latest generation, they've kind of dropped that quad SLI support, and for the real high-end systems, because so few people actually have systems like that. NVIDIA really are not really looking at optimizing the drivers for people who use it like that. And that's just the unfortunate truth of it. It is, again, NVIDIA work on their bug fixes for the majority. Sorry, mate. What's it?
DJ Tarjan, I want voxel ground on planets in Elite so we can crash into them and make holes. Yes, Tarjan.
That would be absolutely epic. I would love that. I think
that would be pretty cool.
The guys at Frontier, like the art team in particular, would love to enable something like that. I mean, that was something I think a couple of weeks ago we actually touched on this, DJ. I'm not sure if you were in the chat, but it was one of the topics we were talking about, the idea of like persistence and how that would work. Just the sheer back end kind of work that would need to go on in order to store that crater detail up onto the server and then persist it back to all of the other players playing in the galaxy and stuff like that. Absolute nightmare to do it. And you just mind blowing. I don't think our machines could deal with it. Voxel asteroids, it's entirely possible. I mean, something which the engine could support. It could be done, but again, so many layers of complexity. It's that kind of pushing it up to the server to store all of that information of the broken asteroids and stuff. It becomes a real pain in the backside. If it was it was only persistent for your particular instance, and then when you super cruised away, it was gone, and it never comes back, then it could be done. Maybe in a future patch,
be.
that
Yeah,
would
who
be a
knows?
cool thing to see in asteroids. Definitely with the asteroid bases coming along, it'd be nice to see that kind of stuff. Scottish Badger, what about PSVR? We did touch on that earlier. Yeah, it's nothing to announce on it yet. It would be nice to see it, but no announcement to give on that at the moment. Laguna saying you had so many problems with SLA you gave up. Going for a strong single card next year. Yeah, it's definitely the better way to do it. It's going for that that majority base. You're better off, instead of going right for the far end. It's kind of like a bow curve sort of thing. Go for the middle ground every time. Go for the middle ground, and then in a couple of years upgrade into the middle ground of that one. It's definitely the better way of doing it. If you go for the extreme end of the spectrum, you usually end up paying more and ended up with more issues than anyone else. As much as a top-end spec machine is nice.
Yeah, but I mean, look at my machine. It's a first-gen Core i7, and I've upgraded to a 1060 now, and like even my crappy old thing with the 1060, I can run the game in ultra and get over 100 frames a second. So it's pretty epic.
I mean, it just goes to show. I mean, there are techniques you can do to optimize it to make it efficient enough to run on different types of hardware, and that's one of the things that I think the Cobra engine is really, really good at is level of detail system, which is how they manage to render so much in Planet Coaster. And you often find that it's not the geometric complexity of the scene which slows down the game. It's when it gets a lot of characters to simulate. It's actually the people's CPUs are the bottleneck again now, because we've spent the last couple of decades pushing better and better GPUs, and we've all got crazy powerful GPUs now. But I mean, like you said, my machine, I've only just upgraded from a first gen Core i7 to I think it's a 6th gen I've got now, and just the difference in CPU power between those two, even though this is effectively clocked slightly slower than my previous chip. Just its capability at things like multi-threading is a massive leap forward again, and it just goes to show, CPUs need to catch up again now with games like Planet Coaster and the things that they're doing under the hood for the crazy complicated simulation and stuff.
Yeah. Suzuka Sakurai. I actually made a video for that, so there you go. There's a link.
Oh yes, there we go. Yeah, click on Gaming with Ian's link on there. You get the. Sorry, Ian, I have to use your full name.
That's alright.
Yeah, there's a trick to it. I mean, definitely when you begin fuel scooping, I have my own horror stories as well. The first couple of times I've fuel scooped, and you just slam into the surface of the planets. Yeah, it's it takes a little bit of getting used to. But once you get into it, and different types of ships will heat up differently as well. So. To begin with, the basic Sidewinder, you might get a little hot under the collar, but something like the Asp Explorer I've got now is got good cooling capacity. So,
and not too long ago, the FDL could actually scoop and charge FSD without getting over 60% heat.
Yes,
but they changed it. Damn it!
Yeah, it was a little bit of a problem. That was made way too powerful.
Does the neutron star boost thing actually work? Yes, it does.
Yes, Zoranil. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know if there's one close by. Let's see if we can find a neutron star really quickly. You get a ridiculously powerful boost from it now. It's is it 200%? I think if you find a neutron star. Chances of us finding a neutron star out here are slim. But we'll just have a quick.
Are you gonna risk it, Crash? It is dangerous.
So I've heard. Oh, there's one 500 light years away. I'm not sure if I can get here. I need to turn the filter on. Apply the filter. There we go. What I'll do is I will jump to a M-class star nearby, so I know I can scoop from it, and then I will. Let me turn on all these. Luckily, I found one. Let's see how many jumps we've got there. 13 jumps. So if you don't mind holding on for a few jumps, so we'll get there and we'll give it a go. Why not?
You're brave. Brave.
Brave or stupid. There's a fine line between those two.
Phew.
We'll give it a go. See if I can remember how to do it.
Don't head towards the star.
Yes. Head through the middle of the cone and out. Let's try and do
There
that.
you go.
There we go. 253 light years jump. So that is insane. What have it? You've got your conda up to what was it? 60 light years now, isn't it? Crazy. 60 light years base jump, and then you have all of the boosts you can do on top as well. Awesome.
So is this game really multiplayer, or is it what you can do with friends?
Oh, who's asking that? Sorry, I didn't see.
Scottish Badger.
Scottish Badger. Yes, it absolutely is multiplayer. My friends list is currently ridiculous. Here, this is all the people which are currently online. I could switch into open play and see if we can spot another couple of people on the galaxy. I am a considerable distance away from most people at the moment. I'm pretty much in the middle of nowhere. Most people are in this region over here in the bubble, and I'm kind of smack dab in the middle between the two populated areas, so there's probably no one anywhere near me. I'm using, yes, Suzuka. I'm in the Asp Explorer, which I've done a little bit of engineering upgrades to get it to be a little bit better at exploring.
Just
and Laguna Hunter just put a good thing on there. Yes, you can. Let me jump into the modules panel in a second. There we go. What's that? Happy set. What's the best anyone got from a level 5 fire seal roll? You got 42 light years. I'm not sure what my stats are on this one. 51.88 light years optimal, I think, is my maximum range I can get on this one at the moment. It's not bad. That was a level 5 roll. Wait for the epic streams now, DJ. Yeah, so I switched to open play, and then everyone descends on my position. I'm tempted to go to open play just to see if there is anyone near me, actually, on my friends list. I doubt anyone is anywhere near me.
I doubt it, yeah.
Yeah, so a good point from what Laguna was saying there. Yeah, you can switch off various things that you don't need, like if you're not too worried about shields, because there's no one really out here, you can save. I mean, that's 11% power usage on the shield generator there. That will save a considerable amount of heat, and I do explore with a heat sink for emergencies. So if you do get yourself, the heat sinks will work when you're fuel scooping. If you do slam into a star by mistake and you need to get back away from it, it is handy having that emergency trigger to be able to hit your fuel, your heat sink out.
Bitstorm, does anyone know if fixed is an option on a Corvette? It all depends. I was fighting a Corvette in the beta in a Vulture, and he had quite a bit of trouble trying to hit me. So
yeah, I mean, there's been some tweaks to that, but I think the only thing which has changed with the sensors in the gimbaled weapons is the arc that they can pick up their gimbal on, so there's the targeting arc on them. I don't think they've necessarily been improved to the point where you're going to have a massive advantage, being able to maneuvering wise in a bigger ship like that. But I mean, that's the thing, jump into the beta and give it a go. Like Ian said, if you go into the beta, you reset your save, you'll be given a billion credits, you'll be chucked to where Marco Gwent is, and you'll be able to massively spec out your ship and play around with all of the features.
Crash, I'm gonna have to
head off,
get off
yes.
soon.
Yes, absolutely.
Soon. I've got another couple of minutes though, but yeah.
Right here, let's get through the last couple of bits in the newsletter then. So Galnet focus on there. The trouble in Artanitas. There is a combat-based community goal going down at the moment for wanted ships, which I'm gonna miss out on. Damn it. Which I was really enjoying playing around with, training up my member of my crew with the Taipan, but I'm not going to get back there in time now. And as was mentioned by Stephen about an hour ago, yes, we finally got round to it, Steve. Ramta has got to slam into a star now. I'm going to have to. Ramta has made his discovery to decode an algorithm to decode the signals that were found from the obelisks at the dead sites. I like that term, dead site. That was a term that David used in the live stream on there. And Interestingly, I don't know how many people picked up on that David did actually say the first of the dead sites.
Yes, I did pick up on that.
And of course, the thing that I'm kind of getting involved with at the moment, which is the Galactic Travel Guides. There we go. Which is the Colonia appeal for the various community groups, which is why I'm heading out to Jacques on that.
I still haven't been to Jack, so I should go out. Sorry.
Yeah, good. Yeah, no, it's worth the trip. I mean, it's really nice. Particularly if you like exploring, it's a lovely place to explore because there's just so much out there, and it's all undiscovered territory, pretty much. You know, even though literally hundreds of thousands of people have gone out there now to see it, there is still so many stars out there. It's so dense in that region of space that you can't. You don't have to go very far to start finding undiscovered territory on there, which is really nice. Captain Fluffy, I am in an asp. I'm getting there quickly. I have a terrible cargo capacity, so I'm not going to be making much of a contribution, but I will be adding a little. I will be getting involved. That's what a CG is about.
That's what it's about. It's not about the cash.
Exactly. Oh, I don't. Yeah, I don't look at the cash on it anymore. I just it's fun to do things with people, like for the mug.
For the mug. I did that one.
Yeah, Steve is right. A long time to get out there in a Type 7. Yeah.
Type 7. Oh my god. I flew one for about 5 minutes and sold it.
They are hard work. They are hard work. Yeah, I had it for a few days, and then I upgraded to the Anaconda pretty quickly. Smintley's in the chat there. Mug!
Mug!
Richard Big, yes, exactly. That's one of the cool things as well. Just it's not very far. I think it's a couple of hundred, or maybe 100 or so light years below the Colonia Nebula. There's just a sea of neutron stars. There's dozens and dozens of them, which is really, really fun. And you can jump around now, obviously. So it's
sure, I might after tonight's stream, I might start heading out there and try and get my exploration rank up a bit, because I can use the beta to do that. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly. I mean, this is the location I'm heading to at the moment. I'll grab the name really quickly. No, I'll grab it in a sec. I've got it bookmarked in the galaxy map, but it's the location of one of the land bases, which was added in to make the trip a little bit less arduous for most people.
Cool.
So there's kind of a halfway point now between Jacques and the bubble, which is makes it a little easier to get out there. Type 7s are pretty decent mining ships. Oh, you're heading off now?
Yes.
Right,
I'm going to start getting ready. I've got to get in touch with my guest for tonight. So.
Oh, excellent. Well, I do appreciate you coming along tonight, and have a good stream, buddy.
Thank you very much for having me, Kerrash.
Awesome. And I don't know if your name's in the chat recently, but if anyone hasn't already followed Game with Ian, please do give him a sub. Head on over to his channel. And what are you doing tonight, buddy?
I've got one of my mates from TOC. He's a pretty good PvP.
Cool.
So I'm going to be doing some PvP combat training.
Oh, excellent.
And after that, when we get done with all that kind of stuff, he actually wants a rematch because I kicked his butt last time.
Awesome. Well, I shall pop over into the chat. We shall gate crash you in a few minutes. So thank you again,
Excellent.
buddy. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chris. I'll talk to you later, people. Bye-bye.
The wonderful gaming with Ian there. Awesome. I think, I don't know if he typed in the chat. He is in the chat with us right now, so like I said, if you haven't already subbed to him, Gaming with Ian, he's there in the chat. Let's see if we can get 6 more jumps. Gate Kerrash, exactly. Yes. I'm full of terrible puns. I am absolutely. What's that? Happy to say anyone? You head off to Colonia when the Thargoids arrive and all the players were fleeing the massacre. As Stephen said, yeah, you said it would be the Thargoids. Yeah. I'm less worried about the possibility of Thargoids. I'm more concerned about the Feds and the Imperials killing each other and everyone getting caught in the crossfire. Oh, Bitstorm, you're playing around with a cannon load. Excellent. Please let me know how that goes. Actually, I'm going to get there and play around with a bunch of the engineering options later on. Which system is the halfway point? Yeah, it is. It is a weird name in the moment. Let's get that up on the screen for you really quick. I'm pretty close to it now. This one here. The CHBD14 bloody that one. Let's Sacagawea. That's the hammer. Let's go in there. I don't know if I can I copy that bookmark? I don't think it shows up as an available, no, I can't copy that bookmark. But there it is. I'll leave that on the screen briefly for people to copy that down on there. Just put it in the thing. D14 34. There we go. Copy and paste it. Yes, there we go. Thank you. Yes, Pierre Paul beat me to it with the link there to the EDDB. Another great resource actually. If you haven't used EDDB, bookmark that link. Absolutely fantastic. It's like the Elitopedia of the game. It's awesome. What's that? What have I got on there? What's the bookmark with the question marks for? Who knows? Who knows? You are the first person to notice that. That bookmark has been on there since, I think, 2.0, maybe? It's been on there a long time. It's been on there. I'm not clicking it. Nope. 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 In fact, I shall transfer its location to paper when I'm off air and delete that bookmark. It is a known system. It is something which has been talked about in a popular thread on the forum. And is known to people as being a system of interest, even if people don't know why it's a system of interest yet. It's is it the one you think it is, Toad? I think it might be the one you think it is. Feats Laney? No, it's not Raxler. And that's all I'm going to say. It's Psycho Butte. It's my homeworld. It was where I was put together. Exactly. Yeah, that's where they make all the crash bots. I am one of many, like 6 of 9. You know, one of many. But no, it's not Planet Crash. No, it's not Planet Crash. Wonka's Chocolate Factory. We are definitely not playing a game of process of elimination. I won't be tricked into divulging information. 3 more jumps. Let's see if we can get to this neutron star. I'm gonna do one crazy epic power jump towards the station. Secret location of a good razor. Yeah. This is the trouble, RFI. I've gone out exploring and I forgot to pack razors again. You know, 12,000 light years from the nearest starport. Bitstorm is saying, the limited, yeah, like DJ's saying, that you can use synthesis to rearm the cannons, which is actually really good fun doing that. I had great fun going in a conflict zone and being able to last a lot longer than many other people. Wackadate, no, it is not the Planet Coaster Planet. It's not that either. Oh, crikey, was that a binary star then? I think I saw her. Yeah, it was a binary. Malek only has another 10,036 guesses. I'll give you 36 more. Secret stash of energy drinks. No, Simmer, no, don't tell them. Don't tell them where I keep all of my Red Bull. Night, Happy Sack. Thank you for joining the name, Commander. Sorry, question there from Scott. Sminton is saying they recommend a mix of set controller and keyboard? Are we talking about the game in general? I mean, I've got practically everything. I mean, I'm using the X56. My son's now got my X52 Pro, which is an awesome stick if you haven't already got one. I use the Xbox One controller for the SRV because I think it just feels better having that sort of control for that thing. Mouse and keyboard for the menus. The great thing about Elite is the fact that you can kind of mix and match the control schemes to whatever you're comfortable with, and people have done some really cool mix-ups. Planet Ruggy looks great. Like, some great guesses going on in the chat there. Look at it. Saying one next to you should have a few more people on the question mark list. I'm gonna have to delete that now. I have literally had it sat there in my list for, like I said, it's got to be 6 months waiting for someone to notice that link in my thing. If you go back through my previous streams, I wouldn't recommend this because there would be hours and hours of video, and I'm not going to be mean and expect anyone to do that. But if you go back and look through my previous videos, you will probably see me clicking on it once or twice by a mistake. Voice Attack as well, so yes, absolutely Voice Attack, and the awesome voice packs from HES Voice Packs. There you go. Checks in the post. Yeah, Voice Attack is fantastic. If you haven't already seen what you can do with that, if you've got a link for that, Toad, actually chuck the link in there for anyone who's not seen it. Absolutely fantastic, being able to do voice commands to your computer, and the HES voice packs just take it to another level. The fact that you can have your ship talking back to you, and some of the sarcastic responses are absolutely fantastic. And who's it? There's a name on the tip of my tongue, Toad. There's a certain Bill, someone that you've might have wrote a few scripts for, something like that. William, is it? Mr. Shatner, that's it. That's the guy. Yes. I'm gonna have to, yeah, you're right, Laguna Head. I got to go back through all my YouTube videos and make them all private, hide them all. Big fun art. Yes, that's a good point. Yeah, if you have a look, things like the Thrustmaster is good. Bear with me 1 second. Control methods, multiple control methods. So we have the Thrustmaster, which my son was using for a little while. Excellent stick, really good. T-Flight Hortus. I believe this is one. This has got the PS2. Yeah, we got the PS compatibility on the back there, which is really awesome. Great stick. It does come apart into 2 pieces if you so wish to fly like that. And then we've got the X52, great stick as well. The Thrustmaster 16,000M, which has just been is it launched yet? They were going to launch it imminently. Really good stick again. Where did that neutron star go? Oh, neutron star. Oh, neutron star. There we are. Gotcha. Alright. Let's try something stupid. Let's hope I don't regret this and my exploration trip is brought to a short and abrupt end. Ooh, Arathon, if you've got a green cutter. This is where I click a link and I do. Sure if Elite or Futurama. Planet Coaster Express, I should say. Awesome. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Oh my goodness, these neutron stars look awesome. They really do, don't they? What have we got? Unexplored as well. Oh, yes. First discovery. See, now I wanted to scan everything else in this system, but no, let's do a jump. Let's give it a go. See if we can get in this. Zaranil, don't worry. If it all goes bang, I do it. I have thicker skin. It doesn't matter. Nothing really matters to me. Stay in the blue. Stay in the blue. There we go. Frame shift drive supercharged. Hey, sweet. That's it. We are charged up. I'm gonna get a quick shot of that as I escape away. Oh, look at that. It's just stunning. The work that they've done to make those particle effects work like that is just awesome. Awesome. Anyway, the stellar wind blows, Commander Hambo. Yes. Oh, we need to do a parody. That would be awesome song. Awesome. Scottish Badger. Yes, that is the neutron stars, which now are rendered with these awesome particle jets that get spat out on there. But they are incredibly dangerous. If you get too close to them, there is a possibility you just basically smash out a super cruise and your ship will overheat. And your exploration trip is done. That's it. So let's see. Whoa, look at my jump range now. It's crazy. Supercharged jump range. I've got a jump range now of 207 light years empty, 174 light years fully fueled, I think. So let's see what's the nearest. Is there any O-class stars nearby? No. Be nice to find an O-class, but I doubt it. See a B. No? Oh. That's why I can't see any. Oh, there's a couple. Oh, there's another. Oh, there's another neutron star. One jump. Look at that. 173 light year jump. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, we've got to do it. Got to do it. This is so much fun. So much fun. I don't know how much time this is probably knocked off what I was doing. 174. I was doing 42 light year jumps. I have to do 3, 4, 5 jumps maybe to do that. I think if I wasn't messing around, I think you could get there pretty quickly. Commander, you can play Bohemian Rhapsody. Is that on guitar or keyboard? Or piano, I should say. Supercharged jump range 300%. Yeah, basically it's 4x your jump range as soon as you manage to get through one of those things. But like I said, incredibly dangerous. If you hit that exclusion zone that popped up there briefly, you are in big trouble. This one has been discovered by Fidel Castro and J.W. Sander there. Of course, I gotta watch the fuel. Gotta watch the fuel as well, because obviously neutron stars I can't refuel, so I've got to be careful. Oh no! Impact! There we go. On the guitar, awesome. I will own up. This is the secret for the day. As I have trolled everyone with the question mark system, the secret for the day. I actually sung I sung the song, actually the whole song in my school choir. I did a solo for that. Bohemian Rhapsody. There we go. Frame shift supercharged. Let's get out of that cone now. There we go. Oh, God. That does make the heart palpitations kick in a little bit now. Ganker activity in Colonia, it's gonna happen. Anywhere where there's a hotbed of player activity, you're gonna get anti-player activity. I've coined another term tonight. There we go. Anti-players. Each hop you do strains your FSD by 1%. Yes, I did forget about that actually. Yeah, it's going to start causing FSD damage over a period of time as well. Hang on. What's that? 186. Can I reach that? No. There we 126, that's pretty far. Let's... What have we got? Oh, we're nearly at 10 o'clock. Actually, let's I'll go to a K-type star. No, route plotting is too much because I'm fully fueled. 66. 80, no. Can I do that? 168? Oh, 100 and... Ah, just outside of range. Let's try this one. It's just fun doing massive jumps, you know. There's no reason for it whatsoever. 173 light year jump. Look at that. Look at that. Shoo! It's like my own personal little wormhole. Does the neutron stars always damage 1% of the FSD, or do the... I think it's... there you go, my frame shift drive is 98%. I don't think it's the actual neutron star, I think it's the actual... the act of doing a supercharged jump, I think. Good point Richard Begg's got there. Yeah, actually, the if you've got the field maintenance module, you can repair the modules. I don't think I've got one. Bessie is not equipped with a repair kit. I really should carry a small one, and always carry one small mining laser. No, that's a good point actually. Yeah, I mean you don't need the refineries, and no, you do need a refinery, don't you, to pick up fragments? You can pick up the materials. I know that much. I don't think I've got a... No, I haven't got an AFM. Oops. 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 I probably should get one. Not materials, no, no. But for fragments, though, for materials you can pick up, but for fragments, for mining, you need a refinery. Otherwise, they won't get allocated, will they? There we go. And there's nothing in the system. What a boring system to end it in. But there we go. That's just the nature of the galaxy. It's full of random stuff. Andy, oh yeah, you're referring to the fuel rats, of course. Yes, the fuel rats escapade that happened flying halfway across, well, all the way across the galaxy, wasn't it, to mine some germanium so that they could boost out of the system. Awesome stuff. Well, I think we shall leave it on that. I think we've pretty much covered everything else tonight. Again, let's see if we can find Gaming with Ian in the chat. I believe he's he's still in the chat. We will host Gaming with Ian. We'll head over to there. We will gate crash his stream and carry on the fun for this evening. Absolutely awesome. But again, as usual, thank you very much for everyone in the chat tonight. It's been really fantastic chatting along to you. I think we've covered some pretty interesting topics. Again, I am still working on the whole kind of video series that we discussed. It actually is a lot of work I need to do to make that happen. So it is coming, discussing some of the popular questions about the Elite Dangerous universe. So stay tuned for that. But until next time, Commanders, see you in the void.